Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 101 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I just found what I've been spending about the last 20 to 30 minutes in the nether looking for, and that is an infernal princess and drone. I unfortunately just barely missed catching the actual harvesting of it on screen here. If I find another hive, I'll make sure to show you guys what it looks like. They're really rare and hard to find. They're typically found around quartz, and I really legitimately spent 30 minutes looking for one. And then I was like, oh, excited, and went to harvest, and I'm like, oh, I probably should have recorded that part of it. Oh well, sorry. But I found one, and I'm really happy for it. So I've got an infernal princess and drone. There's a reason I'm getting these guys. They're really useful for something I have planned. Today's episode is going to be all about power generation. I am low on power, as you guys are probably aware, and I need to come up with a better solution to that. All right, there's some ardite. Nope. It actually looks like ardite, the infernal hives, but they're like a little, like more yellow, a little brighter, glowy yellow kind of thing. But I'm happy I got one, so I'm not really too worried about it. As long as I've got one, I'm good. Alright, let's head back to our base because I need to start working with these bees to get them for something. I'm going to do this a little bit mostly off camera, the breeding of these bees into what I want them to be. There's basically some kind of bee. See, it really looks like ardite, but it's not. It's like a little brighter yellow. It's really hard. They're really rare. I'm really glad I got one. Whatchamacallit? Yes. So what I'm going to do is off camera mostly focus on this, but on camera we'll be focusing on a system to get ourselves a bit more power. As you guys may be aware, we are a little bit low on power back at the base, so I better do something about that. Anyway, let me find my way back, because I've literally been flying all over the place in the nether looking for this stupid hive, and finally found it, and I'll be back in a few minutes once I've figured out where I am. Whoops. Be right back. Alright, so one of the first things I want to do, by the way, is get myself a few more of these infernal drones so that I can maybe steal some of their traits. So I'm just going to real quick automate them in a similar manner to what I did before. We'll pull out from the back, insert into the top, and then, by the way, they have an aggressive nature, so watch out for that. Let's see, if I were to put this here and then the chest. Goodness, they actually hurt quite a bit, don't they? Ouch. Ouch. They really hurt. Come on, Red Heart Canister, do your job. Alright, let's make sure to chunk load this area. And real quick. Okay, you're set to that. Let's do this. Ignored. Pretty sure they died off by now. Cool. So this isn't to get more of these combs that they produce. This is more so to get more of the actual drones. Cool. I'll come back in a little bit and collect those guys and start breeding them off camera. Now, what am I going to do for power generation back at the base? Well, there's a really good way to get power out of redstone. Redstone has a pretty strong amount of power innately in it, and we can tap into that in a couple different ways, specifically using extra utilities. They've got a very powerful generator that can use redstone for all kinds of nefarious purposes. So let's get ourselves set up with that. I'm going to put this in here for now, by the way. We'll come back to him later. What do we got in here? We've got the redstone generator. Now that thing is right here. Heated redstone generator requires quite a bit of resources to get started here. I'm thinking I'm going to start off making about, how many of these should we make? I'm going to definitely need some blocks of iron, and that'll be a good indication of how many I'm going to get. Let's go with 8. That sounds like a good starting point. Alright, so once we have 8 blocks of iron, we should have no problem getting ourselves 8 lava generators. And once we've got 8 lava generators, we should have no problem upgrading if we were to get ourselves some blocks of redstone. If I want 8 of these, oh boy, let's get like 30. That'll get me 6. 20 more. Lots of redstone, obviously, just to craft the generators. But there we go. 8, good to go. Let's switch these guys back to regular old redstone. And while we're at it, you know what, actually, yeah, I'm going to get a... For now, I'm going to grab just a stack of redstone blocks. Let's see, that will probably tap into my redstone supply pretty strongly. Hopefully, not too badly. Alright, down into our basement we go. So obviously we want to hook these up in such a way that they're powering this guy. So what I'm thinking is, if I run the power into the side here, we'll just have to make sure, all right, if there's a power line going out there, can I interact with that and move it? Probably. I'll need some covers. There we go. Then we can set this guy's control to accept on this side, so now he's getting power there. We're going to need some redstone cable. We're going to need some fluid ducts. And we're probably going to need a pneumatic servo or two. And that should be good for now. So let's see, if I wanted to, for example, how should we run this, per se? What I'm thinking is if I could... No, not you. Let's say... It's actually pretty tricky to figure out how I want to run this line. I wouldn't mind having it stacked right on top here. So what I'll probably want is you, but set up not to connect. And then over like that. Cool. And then we could have... One, two, three, four. And see, that's kind of a nuisance, that Tesseract being there. Let's move him. Yeah, I know what I'll do. I'll move the Tesseract to like the side or something. So we'll set the top to be an input. We'll set the right side here to be like that. And then we'll put the Tesseract here. There we go. That looks good, right? And then we can just pipe it straight in to the top like that. Cool. And then we can have, eventually, like right now I've got 4, maybe eventually we'll swap it out to be like 8 or something like that. So that should be cool. You know what I mean? I have 8, maybe make it 16 eventually. Nice. Now the only other thing is I'm going to want to run some stuff here. So let me get a couple more covers. Make sure these things don't get interfered with. Because what we're going to need to do, there's a couple ways to power these heated redstone generators. The most efficient way is the one I'm going to go with. You have the option of either throwing redstone and lava in here, or you can just throw liquid redstone in here, which you can get from factorization or from thermal expansions. So let's go ahead and say that that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to cover up all these pipes so that our steam doesn't interact with our heated redstone tubing at all. Then we can have fluid ducts running probably along here. See, this is awfully close to our existing setup. Like, this is going to be really kind of frustrating to do. Let me think about this a minute. I might want to change this up. Alright guys, you know what? I thought about it and I like this a little bit better. Let's go ahead and run our line like that. How's that look? A little bit different? A little bit better? I think that looks good, right? I've got the stuff going in here. There's a hollow brick cover, stone brick cover, right into the resin energy cell. So once these guys get liquid redstone, they should start pumping into the resin energy cell. Now what I need is a way to kind of create liquid redstone. So I think what would be cool is probably one of those P2P bridges that I've got. So let's get one of those guys. Let's see. Do we have access to a couple? I have one. I can make another, I'm sure. I hope. Missing diamond. Yeah. Let's see how my diamond production's going. What do you guys say? So far, I'm up to 14 of these shards. Not too bad. So I should at least be able to get a diamond, which is what I'll need to craft that one P2P. And then I'll let my diamond producing bees continue along. They should be humming along happily. Yep, they are. Alright, back downstairs. Let's get our P2P stuff. pipe. Now, could I have just put maybe the thing up here that's going to generate it? Maybe. This is the generator room, so should I have the liquid redstone generator stuff in here? Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. So let's see. For now, let's go ahead and consider where I want to put that thing. Alright, let's get our magma crucible. I think I know where I want it to be. I just need a machine block, please. There we go, magma crucible, ready to roll. I think I'll skip the P2P thing right now. Just because I'm so short on diamonds, I don't really need to be wasting them. Alright, let's put it here. So where's my redstone conduits? Gonna take energy to make energy, trust me on this. It'll work out though. What I'm thinking is maybe right here. That should do. And I'm going to close off everything except the output, which I'm guessing I'll have on the left. That doesn't look terrible. And then I can have fluid ducts. You know what, maybe I should have it go up one more. That would probably be a good idea. I want to make sure it's extensible so that eventually I can have another set of 8 if I need them. But for now, we'll close all this out. We'll do that. The fluid duct here, which will connect to it. Now our deal is that I'm trying to think of a good way to disable this if I want to stop eating up redstone, because we don't want to destroy our redstone reserves. And believe it or not, we probably will do that pretty quickly. But let's see what happens. So first things first, let's kick this into gear by dropping some blocks of redstone in there. So this will take a moment to process the redstone into destabilized redstone. Then it should get pulled out the side. Let's see what happens. There it goes. Alright, these guys swallowed it up and started generating power. So obviously you can't see it in there because it used up, whatever it got. But look how much power it's generating. 320 RF per tick. By comparison, the steam dynamos produce 80 RF per tick. So these things are making about 4 times as much power as these guys are. Now obviously this thing is set up and it's pretty much endless loop, right? So we have as much elementum as we want. We'll never run out because we've got coal producing and we've got charcoal and all that stuff, and we don't have any concerns about running out of elementum, right? So that's kind of the good news of elementum. The bad news is that, redstone we don't have an infinite amount of. Not yet, at least. I wonder why I was looking at infernal bees at the beginning of the episode. Well, let's take a look. Infernal bees can be upgraded into hateful bees. And hateful bees can turn into spiteful bees, and spiteful bees can turn into destabilized bees, which can produce redstone and electric combs. Electric combs can produce destabilized drops, which give you guessed it, destabilized redstone in a magma crucible. So if I can, I'm not sure because I haven't tested this, but hopefully I'll be able to produce enough destabilized redstone from the bees to cook in the magma crucible and keep these generators running. How much, will the bee produce versus how much will I need? I'm honestly not sure. We're going to kind of have to let it run and see how much this uses. Now these guys, I think they use a bucket about every 5 minutes, but once they get filled up with RF, they might be a little bit more efficient and they might slow down their usage. We'll have to see. But in the end, we should be getting some power generation here. See, look, we have a net energy gain. We're no longer losing power. Look at this. We're getting a huge increase in power, as a matter of fact. So that is pretty cool. So what we've got here, guys, is a nice way to get this running. Now, something I've just installed is a pneumatic servo here so that I can go ahead and use a lever, which I thought I had around here somewhere. Maybe I put it away already. And, it doesn't really have to matter where it goes, but I throw a lever down and it allows the stuff, it might let it pull out. Yeah, there it goes. So it all flowed out and we can see it filling up all these things. Cool. Turn it off and it'll no longer allow the redstone to flow. Neat, right? So this is kind of an on-off switch. It's not a great one, but it'll work. The downside being, of course, that once these things are full, it's going to burn through all this stabilized redstone, whether it needs it or not. Alright guys, while I've got that one bee working its way towards becoming what I want her to in the nether, I'm grabbing a Valiant Princess. I actually should just grab all these guys and move them into my actual bee system. Valiants are randomly dropped from hives. You'll find them just kind of in almost any hive, I think, is how it works. But if you mutate them together, and in this case I'm putting it together with a cultivated drone and a Valiant Princess, you'll find out that these guys come together. Let's see, Valiant and Cultivated to get an excited bee. So that's why I want this thing. Oh, hostile environment. That's right. I remember. I had this bee in here. I had another Valiant. I already had her set up to do +1. Oh well, let's just acclimatize her. You know, I grabbed this princess, and I'm like, what'd I do with the princess? I thought I grabbed one. I threw her in the acclimatizer. Duh. Dire derp. Oh well. That's fine. We'll let her do her thing. Basically, what these bees can produce, if we get to energetic, you'll see energetic combs come from either excited or energetic bees. Energetic bees have a 12% chance to produce them, where excited is only 10. So a little bit better if we get up to the energetics. And it's really easy to get, actually, because energetics are just Valiant plus excited. Excited is cultivated Valiant. So 2 little hops of genetic mutation here, and we should get our way to a bee that produces energetic combs, which can also be centrifuged to directly produce redstone 100% of the time. So I'm not sure between the 2 of these bees which ones will produce more redstone for us, but I figured, you know what, we might as well give it a shot, right? So let's do it. So let's see, did I get my mutation here, my acclimation yet? Not yet. I'll give her a minute, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, one thing I want to do now, let's see, I'm going to need an iron ingot, aren't I? Is work towards one of the bees that I'm going to need to get. And I want to show you one of the features of sometimes you'll need to do when you're doing the mutations. So I'm actually doing pretty good. I worked my way up to the Spiteful branch, which is only 1 hop away from where I need to be. Let's see, I want to put this in here. There we go. You start melting that up. Where is this stuff? I need a pickaxe. You might have an idea of what I'm working on. In fact, you probably should. I'm going to turn this off for a moment because we don't want... Well, actually, yeah, you should be okay, right? Or no, we turned... Yeah, we removed the filter. So let's turn that off for now so that he doesn't pull stuff out. I want to make a pickaxe. And I'm going to make a really basic one. I mean, we're going to make... Let's see... Tool rod pattern. I mean, it doesn't even matter what I make the tool rod because it's not sticking around for much longer than a minute. And a binding pattern. There we go. And we're going to have a pick, and it needs to be iron at least. So that's why I'm cooking up the iron one, otherwise I would have gone with stone. Let's go check on things real quick. Ah, good. My bees are doing what they're supposed to be doing, which is dying. I had to make another set of metabolic and necrotic frames because I'm breeding both of these bees at once. So I just crafted a new set of those. So these guys, not good on the whole up thing. That's okay. You know, let me throw her in here. I'm making a little bit more work for myself by doing the whole working in a humid biome like this, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Alright, so we've got some spiteful bees doing alright. Now I need to combine this with industrious. So I think that's enough spitefuls for now. I'm going to leave that. Or you know what? I don't want to totally leave that because there's some stuff in there. How's my inventory? My inventory is not good. Alright. I need to clean it up. There's some, I left some frames back there, but that's alright. No biggie. So let's see. Put away some of these metabolic frames. You done yet? No. There we go, up one. Cool, that'll do. Works for me. Excited, excited. Good. I'm just trying to get a couple extra drones in case we have a problem. Alright, so now we should have this thing. And I need a silk touch pick. So what I'm doing is getting a pickaxe, switching it to upgrade mode, and putting Silky on it. Nice. And let's head to the overworld and find something that I need. Ah, there's what I'm looking for. Redstone ore. So you'll note here, if you're looking at your bee breeding screen, it's got these numbers in red. That means that there's a requirement in order to breed them. And if I want to breed my spiteful bee and my industrious bee to get destabilized, it requires a foundation of redstone ore. So let's get some industrious bees. This will probably do. I only need one of them. And I'm going to, in the meantime, put away some spiteful drones. So spiteful, spiteful, spiteful. This guy might be purebred. He is good. Cool. And in the meantime, I'm going to combine my excited with valiant to get energetic. So let's see if I've got some valiant drones around here. I should. Maybe I put them in here. Didn't I? There's one. Cool. So we'll make sure that these guys go in here. So we're going to do the excited princess with the valiant drone. We're going to make sure they have a high mutation chance. And then we're heading back to the nether. And unfortunately I have to do this in the nether because this bee requires a hellish environment, and there's no way that I'll get him down. I think it's 3 jumps between hellish and normal. So you can see there hellish down 2, but it's 3 jumps, so that's not going to work. So let's get spiteful and industrious and get ready for metabolics. Now this has a long life, so it'll take a while. So we'll be back in a minute. By the way, this bee really hurts. Like, a lot. Check out my health once it gets down. I think it does like 1.5 a time. It's crazy. Oh, and don't forget, you need a foundation of redstone ore, so that needs to be under the hive. Oh wow, that's going to take a while. Alright, back in a little while. Oh yeah, check it out guys, destabilized purebred. That means we can head back to our base and stick them into one of the apiaries that's automated at the moment. I haven't decided which one I want to swap out just yet, because I actually need all the ones that are running right now. How are my diamonds doing, by the way? Nice. Alright, I think I'm going to throw them right in here. You can see they've got some good traits that I definitely like. So we're going to let the destabilized run for a little bit. You know what I should probably do? Oh, they're already fast workers? Wow, they are really good bees. They already have the fast worker trait, so I don't even have to throw that on them. So we'll just let it rip. What I do want to make sure they have, though, are some frames. And hopefully we'll get a decent amount of redstone out of them. How's this bee doing? Not dead yet. Alright, so basically what I'm doing here is having 2 bees destabilized, and eventually we'll have the excited that upgrades to energetic. By the way, one side effect with these bees, they do cause lightning effects. Lightning will strike nearby when this bee is here, so make sure to have it in some kind of enclosed room. Otherwise you might get hit by lightning. But hey, that's kind of a cool effect. I won't complain. I like it. Alright guys, we're back, and I just finished up the last of my pre-meeting, so I'm pretty happy. I've got energetic, and I've got the other ones that are still running. So between these 2 bees, we should be producing a lot of redstone. So I have an idea of something I want to do downstairs to make the refilling of that redstone thing work pretty well. Let's take a look at how we can automate it so that we can figure out exactly when we want to turn on and off the system so that we don't waste any redstone as best as we can. I mean, there's going to be some waste because I can't turn off the generators directly, but I mean, at least at this rate, we can prevent it from getting wasted a little bit. So let's grab real quick. I want to automate. Where's my logistics chassis Mark II? I'm going to need 2 of them. And you'll notice I'm in bat mode because I need 2 apiary refiller modules so that I can go downstairs here. 1, and we're going to stick. So this guy right here is going to be our energetic drones. So they can go ahead and process and do their thing. And then we'll just stick this right there. You're going there, and we'll put an apiary refiller module in there. So that's as easy as it is to expand our current system. And let's get, just because we want to make sure that we're getting as many of these as we can, I can always trade for more proven frames if I need to. There we go. And this is going to be where I'll have my... I'm currently working on these guys. Are they done yet? almost there. I'm getting these guys up to a fast production speed. So once they're there, they'll wind up going in the last slot. And then we've currently got Industrious going, which is nice. Diamonds, making diamonds for us. Cultivated, which is a good source of honey. Imperial, and the Destabilized, making redstone. And if we take a look, we'll see that we already have a few pieces of redstone with that 1B operating. We've got the Destabilized drops that we're getting some. So we're not getting a huge amount of resources yet, but we are doing pretty good on diamonds. If you look at that, we've already worked our way up to diamonds, and we haven't even got to alvearies yet, which will significantly improve the production of our whole bee system. So with the energetic queens now, hopefully we'll have lots of redstone coming in. And if this doesn't work to produce as much as we might need, well, don't worry. I've got some plans for something that might help us out. So I'm going to put you away. Now let's go downstairs and see what we can come up with. So what I'd like to do is have a level emitter, I think. That sounds like a good plan. And we're going to want some cabling. And we'll probably want an export bus, if you would be so kind, sir. There we go. So we've got our precision export bus. We're going to want a piece of redstone. So there's going to be actually a couple conditions under which we want these this machine to start operating here. So let's see what we can come up with. First off, I don't want to completely lose all my redstone. There we go. I'll make it almost. There we go. Made it. Whew. Sometimes that hotkey not working thing really scares me. All right, so there's a couple conditions under which we will want to make sure this thing is on and off situation. So the yellow one is our B system, right? Oh, great. That has to be right there. Why is there an interface here for the bees? This is like where the entire system is and lives. Great. What if I moved this thing a little bit? Because it's like totally in the way. Not really. Well, all right, here's what I'll do is I'll just run some cables like, oh, you know what? We've got the cables here. That'll probably work. Just come from this side and we'll be all right. Let's come in on the top. You know what? No, wait, I think I'm going to come in on the side here. So let's do our export bus here. We'll tell the side to be blue. And we'll face our level emitter at it. And we'll basically tell this guy that for now, this is how you're going to operate. You ready? Emit redstone signal if levels are above 1,000. That's going to be our threshold. And you are going to active with signal redstone. Cool. Now if I take my redstone out of here, if we have more than 1,000 redstone in the AE system, it's going to dump it into the magma crucible, but no more. So basically we'll never have less than 1,000 redstone because of the system. Now if we, use up our redstone for other purposes, that's not our fault. But long story short, this thing will dump redstone as long as there's more than 1,000. If we set this guy, for example, to 3,000, just as a demonstration, we'll see that it stops dumping out redstone, right? So if I pull the redstone out of here, it'll no longer dump in. So with the level emitter, we can control it and make sure that we never use up the last of our redstone. Cool little trick, right? Now the other thing I want to do is have, keep an eye on the power in our energy cell and try and figure out how much there is at the moment. So let me come up with a plan. So guys, there's two approaches we can use for this. If you have a comparator coming out of a resonant energy cell or any kind of energy cell, I believe it'll emit a redstone signal whose strength kind of simulates how much energy is currently stored in the thing. So if we take a look, we'll see it's got a strong amount of power coming out of this thing because it's pretty much full. But if we cut down the input here so that it's not allowed to accept any energy, there we go. We should see this thing starting to drop pretty quickly. We'll be back in just a moment. Once this drops to a significant level, we'll see the redstone power signal drop as well. So you'll note here that our power cell has dropped a percentage, and you'll note now that it's emitting a redstone strength of 13. So if it gets all the way down, it'll have like no redstone coming out, or maybe 1. I'm not entirely sure. I'm assuming it's 0. But if it gets up there, it'll probably have a decent amount of redstone coming out. So let's bump this guy's input back up, allow him to accept power once again, and we'll note that this thing goes from a power level of 13 back up to 14. Perfect. So that's one option. Another option is to go with computer craft. This is a little bit more of an exact option, and we can do a peripheral.wrap, right, and then we can list methods. And because I tested this already, I know the method I want to use is get energy stored, and I want to tell it what direction this thing is, and it's actually on the south of the computer. I don't know why it needs the direction, but it does. And you'll note here it's telling you how much energy is stored in there. And if I keep refreshing, it'll, be bumping up. So we can see exactly how much energy is stored in the thing. It's probably around 730 something now. So that's another way we can do it. So we really have two options. I can either use a computer that'll, report out how much energy is in there, or I can use the redstone signal thing. What do you think I'm going to use? What's that say? Vanilla Minecraft? See you later, buddy. Let's get some monitors. I got a neat idea. And you know what? Since we're going to be doing this, I want to upgrade this computer to a gold one. Now we're talking. Back in a minute. Alright guys, tell me what you think about that. Not too shabby, right? Giving you a good static update of the current energy stored in there, and it constantly updates itself. I have a sleep in there of about 1/10 of a second, so that's not too bad. What I'm thinking now is that I can, it's real simple code, by the way, if you want to see it. And I know we're about wrapping up the episode, so I'll throw this in there as a little bonus to those interested. If you're not interested in the code, I mean, it's not like there's much here, right? We grab the monitor, we grab the cell, we clear what's on the monitor, we set the cursor position to X4, Y1, so that top position there, and we write current energy stored, and then loop through every 1/10 of a second, get the amount of energy stored in the cell, and write it at position 12,3, X12, Y3, so down, a little bit from there. Pretty simple, right? So all I need to do now, edit startup, shell.run, energy. Then on reboot, boom, it's running. Cool, right? So that's a good way to keep track of how much energy is currently in there. And if I want, I can throw a quick if statement in and say if the energy drops below like 20 million or like, whatever we want it to be, right? Right now its max is 50 million. We can see it's, a little bit stable. It's actually not too bad. I'm actually thinking I don't even need as many redstone generators as I have. Like I've got way more than I need. So what I'm thinking here is maybe, I wish there was a way that I could cut this off. Let's see, what do I have here? If I have a pipe, we'll have to figure out a way, because I'd like to maybe not be all or none, like maybe just turn on a couple of them, if we need to, or if like we're really low on power, turn on a bunch. Maybe that's something we can tweak and play with next episode. For now, though, I think it's time to wrap up. So we've got this nifty energy storage thing. If I really wanted to, I could run some networking cables upstairs so that we could see this up here, so we can have like a live feed of how much energy is in our cell at the moment. We can just take a look at, somewhere in the room here and be like, oh yeah, there's plenty of energy. Otherwise, I'm going to keep an eye on this stuff. So my bees are cruising. We've got the energetic queens producing their stuff. Oh, looks like lightning managed to sneak its way into our house somehow. That's funny. I kind of like that, there's random lightning in the age now. Our infuser thingy here should have gotten our tropical drones all taken care of, so that's good. Are you guys fast productivity, by the way? I'm thinking you're probably not, are you? Oops. So let's just check. Yeah, see, they're slow speed. So once these guys die off, which I'll grab some necrotic frames for. And in fact, I will put the tropicals here. And I'll put this guy in here so I can infuse him with fast speed. And then once that's done, I'll add the logistics pipe down there with the B module. For now, Direwolf20 signing off. Hopefully we'll get, a decent amount of redstone from this. I mean, it doesn't look like we've gotten a ton so far. But like I said, do not fear. Once we get alvearies, we should be getting more. But I'm definitely getting some good amount of diamonds, so I will take that any day of the week. All right, guys, Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.